Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Max, and today I'm going to be talking about why the ending of Loki is more important than people think. So when it comes to the end of Loki and how important it is, I'm actually not talking about the multiverse opening up, which yes, did officially happen, and it is a huge thing for Marvel, because this could pretty much change everything in the future, and as far as we know, it could really open up for so many crossovers and ideas, and, possibly maybe even one day through this we can get the Marvel versus DC film that's been talked about by James Gunn recently. But anyway, the actual piece of the end of the episode that really stood out to me was when Mobius and B-15 did not recognize or remember Loki. Now, this really made me wonder what is happening with all of Marvel moving forward, because there's been a few theories I've seen, and I kind of thought about a few of them myself, but I really do think what is happening is time is being rewritten. Now, I've seen some people say that the TVA could be like an alternate timeline where Kang is the leader of the TVA instead of the fake timekeepers, but the TVA is supposed to be outside of time and able to know what is going to happen in the future, knows what's happened in the past, and they're not really involved in a timeline, so to speak. So this really wouldn't make sense to me, because if the TVA can just be essentially doubled in any other timeline, it's not as important as we've been led to think. It's just something else that can be changed, that can be manipulated. So I don't think this is the case. Now, when it comes to the implications that rewriting time have, I think it's a lot more interesting, because this is a way that they could really bring in and possibly change things that happened in Marvel's past. For example, we know the Mandarin is going to come up in Shang-Chi, and this could be a way for them, if they're not wanting to go the route with like the fake Mandarin from Iron Man 3 and then the real one is in the shadows or something, if they are wanting to essentially bring this character back in a way that is more true to what they wanted to do or what they figured they wanted to do after Iron Man 3, then they could simply have this be something that was rewritten in history and have this Mandarin be the one that's always been there, and nobody would question it because time has been rewritten. It's just always what has been. Now, obviously, for people who watch this channel, they know I am an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. main timeline canon person. I have made countless videos about it, and this part is more for the people who don't see it that way, but I still think it's interesting to think about no matter what side of the argument you're on. So with this kind of new idea of the timeline being rewritten and multiverses being opened, I think something they could do is, since we've heard reports that Coulson and Daisy, aka Quake, will be coming back into the MCU, but they won't be exactly how we saw them in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This has been said by Popcorn Planet, Giant Freaking Robot, and some other sources out there. But when it comes to doing things like this, and Charlie Cox's Daredevil possibly in No Way Home, as well as some other characters coming back. I've heard Jessica Jones is rumored for She-Hulk, but that one's mainly just like a rumor as of right now. But when it comes to bringing these characters back, it seems like if they're wanting to maintain the way the shows were, without having to retcon or say that they are, just a multiverse thing, what they could do is bring these shows into the current timeline, so to speak, as time has been rewritten. So this would kind of be the best of both worlds for everybody, because it would mean that everything has always been canon as far as like the current MCU would be. It would not affect things that happen in the past of the MCU, which would be, basically questions like, why haven't these characters appeared if they've always been there? And it's a way for Marvel to, if they want to change some things with characters or change aspects of their stories, they could just say that that is a product of the multiverse switching around. So I think it leaves a lot of opportunity. And in my opinion, that would probably be the best way to bring characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Netflix shows, and other Marvel TV properties in without making any side mad. And yes, because if time is rewritten, it's basically what has always been, but then they can still go with the whole thing of, not having to rely on any of the stories from the past necessarily, and it will always be canon to what is now, but not canon to what we saw before, if that makes sense. So I know that's a little confusing and a little backwards about what I've said about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other shows, but I do think if Marvel wants to play it safe, that's the best way to do it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what actually happens in the future. And I actually am working on a video right now that touches upon a Spider-Man No Way Home rumor that could connect to the way this could work, and that'll probably be coming out in the next few days, so keep an eye out for that. But that's about all I have for now. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.